Hey singer, welcome to this 3-part voice lesson mini-series designed to help you sound more free, more consistent, and more like yourself when you're singing. My name is Lara. I am an award-winning singer and songwriter turned viral vocal coach and the founder of VoxTape Studios, and we have over 1 million followers online. I have helped thousands of singers feel more confident and in control of their voice, whether they're just singing for fun or actively pursuing a career in music. Whether you're brand new to singing or you already have some experience, these quick but effective lessons are going to help you unlock things that you might not even have realized are holding your voice back. In each video, we'll walk through one of the 3 most common challenges that singers face, and I'll show you how to fix them with some tools and exercises so that you can see changes in your voice right away. I know time is precious, so I try to do my best to keep every video short and to the point so that you can see changes in your voice in minutes, rather than listening to me ramble on and on and on and on and on about the voice. I can get a little bit carried away sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not my fault. I just love the voice so much. Anyways, let's get started with part 1. Have you ever felt like your voice is kind of stuck in your throat and it's kind of difficult to get certain notes out? Maybe you're getting tired pretty quickly from singing, or you're not loving your tone because it's not as full and as resonant as you'd like it to be. Those are all symptoms of tension, and releasing this tension should always be the first thing that singers work on because it's the foundation of all sustainable, healthy, and resonant singing. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. I was singing through tension, sometimes fully aware of it, and sometimes I didn't really know what was going on for so long, and eventually I did end up with vocal nodules. Don't worry, my voice is totally fine now. I made a full recovery, but it was definitely a big wake-up call for me. But because of that, I now know pretty much every trick in the book to release tension so that you can start singing more effortlessly and make singing look like it's easy, like some of your favorite singers. In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify whether or not you have tension, where that tension might be coming from, and most importantly, what you can do to release said tension so that you can start singing effortlessly and feel like your voice is just flying out of your mouth rather than having to force or push it out. How I like to show singers whether or not they have tension is by first working on releasing tension in a specific area. If you can feel a difference between before and after having released tension, then that means you probably did have some tension in that area. If you can't feel a difference, then congratulations, you probably didn't have a lot of tension to begin with, which also means I'm definitely totally jealous because your girl over here has had a lot of tension to go around. But anyways, let's first look at what singing feels like before releasing tension so that we can see if there's going to be a difference at the end of it. Okay, so pick any phrase of a song that is usually causing you some issues where like, it's just not coming out the way I want it to. I'm going to pick Ain't No Mountain, one of the lines in the chorus. So it starts something like, 'cause baby, there's ain't no mountain high enough. I'm just gonna stick to that phrase. You can use that same phrase if you'd like. You can use something else. It really doesn't matter. The choice is yours, okay? So with this phrase, I just sang it. Feels like it could be a lot easier to sing. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of taking a little bit more effort to sing that phrase than I'd like to. So let me sing it one more time. 'Cause maybe there's ain't no mountain high enough. Still feels like I'm using too much effort to get that note or to get that phrase out. So now let's actually work on releasing some tension so that hopefully that phrase that you're singing can come out a little bit more easily and a little bit more effortlessly. There are 3 main areas that your body likes to hold tension in when it comes to singing. We have the jaw, we have the tongue, and we have the neck. Let's start with the jaw. Take your knuckles, your fists right here, push them between your cheekbone up here and your jawbone down here, as close to your ears as possible, okay? So not up here on your cheeks where there's just meat, but rather back here where you can feel that muscle move if you open and close your jaw underneath your fists, like this. Feel that muscle? That's the muscle that sometimes likes to just kind of get locked into place, and then it's like, causing tension, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push in here and open our mouths and just do la la la. La 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 la. Now, what we don't want is la 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 la, really chewing with the mouth, okay? We wanna try and keep the jaw still and only let the tongue on the inside move, like this. La 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 la. okay? Keep that jaw still. Look in a mirror to make sure that you're not moving your jaw, okay? Ideally, you would do this a bunch of times to just kind of get used to this. But for the sake of this video, I want to keep it moving, okay? So stay here. La, 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 la. Pause the video, practice this a couple times until you feel good. Then the next step after that is going back to the song, but instead of just singing it again, we need to work our way up to the song so that we can kind of bridge the gap between exercise and song. Because a lot of times what happens is people can do it in an exercise, but then they really struggle to apply what they learned in the exercise in a song. And I don't want you to end up like that. Okay. So we're going to work on applying this jaw releasing exercise in the song as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to sing the melody of that phrase from your song. But we're going to do it on la 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 while pushing the fists in here into our jaw. So same thing here. We want to keep that jaw as still as possible and not start chewing, okay? Let the tongue on the inside do the work. So if we go back to Ain't No Mountain, la 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 la. I'm just singing everything on la 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 and I'm pushing in here at the same time. This already feels quite a bit easier than when I was singing the lyrics, which is awesome. Let's try that one more time. La 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 la. And I'm just pushing in here, okay? After doing that a couple times, if you're like, okay, this is feeling pretty good, the notes are coming out, you can bring the lyrics back in while still pushing in here. Cause baby, there's ain't no mountain high enough. And by the way, don't be afraid to like really dig in, okay? We really want to let this muscle relax and not lock into place so much. That honestly felt pretty darn good to me. I really liked this. This felt way easier than what was coming out before I started working on my jaw. So I personally know that I have quite a bit of jaw tension, especially when I get stressed. I start like clenching my teeth at night. No bueno, my dentist definitely doesn't like that. Some people hold a lot of tension in their jaw like me. Others people really don't. So did you feel a difference here before and after? I know we're moving through this really quickly, but keep playing around with this and you'll start to relax your jaw more and more and more. And if you don't feel a difference after a couple of minutes doing this, then you probably didn't have a lot of jaw tension to begin with, which is awesome for you. Okay, so that's releasing your jaw. Moving on to the tongue. This is funny enough, the area that most singers don't realize that they have tension in, yet it is the most common place singers do have tension in. Tongue tension actually has a pretty specific tone. If you know who Shakira is or Kermit the Frog, they kind of sound like this, right? So that is a form of tongue tension called tongue retraction. And if we sing like, whatever, whatever, or back to this, baby, there's ain't no mountain high, right? If we have that kind of sound, that is very typical for extreme tongue tension. So if you're like, oh yeah, I kind of sound like Shakira or Kermit the Frog sometimes, and I'm like, all right, you've got some tongue tension, let's address it. Even if you can't hear it, that doesn't mean there's no tongue tension, okay? So what we're gonna do to release said tongue tension is just stick out the tongue and bite on it. This is one of my favorite ways to do it without needing props. There's other things that you can do like tongue stretches and pencil under your tongue and all those crazy things, but you need props for that. So if we just stick out the tongue and do a gentle tongue bite, as I like to call it, you don't need any props. All right, stick out your tongue, bite on it. And just start exploring your range here for a second and pay attention to what your tongue is doing. Ideally, your tongue should be staying still through the entire thing. No twitching, no trying to pull back into your mouth. If you are feeling that, then that just means your tongue is trying to assist you, which means tongue tension. The tongue does not need to be involved when we're just doing The tongue only is needed to shape words, right? Like lyrics. But if we're just going, we don't need the tongue, right? So ideally, no twitching, no moving, no retraction, no nothing in the tongue here. If you are feeling movement, stay here for a couple minutes until your tongue starts to relax into it. The next step after that is opening your mouth and still sticking your tongue out. So the reason why we're doing it on a closed mouth first is so that you can really feel your tongue, because when you're biting on it, you feel every single little movement. When we're just doing, it's a little bit more difficult to feel it. But when you do a gentle tongue bite, all of the sound is coming out of your nose, meaning if you feel a lot of vibrations up here or you feel nasally, that is totally fine for the sake of this exercise, okay? Because all of your sound is in fact coming out of your nose because your mouth is closed. So the next step after this is opening it up again, because when we're singing music, when we're singing songs, the sound is going to come out of your mouth, not out of your nose. And we need to do lyrics as well. But anyways, same thing here, stick out your tongue and open your mouth now. Now, please be sure that your tongue is not doing like a really pointy or a really thick tongue. Make sure that it's nice and round in the front and flat. You want the back of your tongue touching the inside of your back teeth, and the front to just be nice and round, like this. Not like pointy, okay? By the way, same thing when you're biting on your tongue on a closed mouth. Not okay? Round and flat is what we're shooting for here. So let's try the same. Again, same thing here. Ideally, we want the tongue to be completely relaxed and still. No twitching, no trying to pull back in. Just keep it moving forward. If you are feeling like your tongue is retracting, just work on pushing it forward, okay? Now, same back with the song. First on the closed mouth. Might feel a little difficult because your mouth is closed, but again, pay attention to your tongue. You don't want any twitching or movement. Once that feels good, open it up. So what I'm feeling here is I have a lot more space in the back of my mouth here when I'm sticking my tongue out, which makes it a lot easier to sing this. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily sound pretty because it's right? But it feels quite easy to get the sound out this way. The last step after that is just bringing the lyrics back in. Because baby, there's ain't no mountain high enough. And just really making sure that your tongue is not shooting back into the back of your mouth, right? Keep it moving forward. This is going to take a little bit of time if you have extreme tongue tension, which a lot of singers do, okay? So just stay for a long time and start singing with just your tongue sticking out. Coach Emily on our team, she calls this reverse tongue tension. Just going forward instead of back, because tongue tension usually means your tongue is retracting. So if we are pushing it forward, we're doing reverse tongue tension. Thank you, Coach Emily, for this tip. Last but not least, we have the neck. And this is where most singers feel like they have tension, especially when they feel like the sound is kind of stuck in their throat. But funny enough, when you feel like your voice is stuck right here in your throat, that's actually most likely due to tongue tension, not neck tension. Neck affects the side of your throat. If it's more here and further like up, then that means it's most likely your tongue. So definitely work on releasing tongue tension if you feel like your voice is stuck right here, okay? But neck tension. Best way to release tension in the neck is by just incorporating movement, like looking side to side or doing a pendulum swing. Movement in general is the enemy of tension. If you take nothing away from today's video but one thing, let it be this. Movement is the enemy of tension. So if you just keep it moving, your muscles can't lock up or tighten up, and they're less likely to get really tense, okay? So if we just look side to side when we sing, or we're doing a little pendulum swing, it's one of my favorite things to release tension. So, because baby, there's ain't no mountain high enough. That feels nice. Apparently, I'm having some neck tension today. Because baby, there's ain't no mountain high enough. I'm just looking side to side as I'm singing. And that makes it feel a whole lot easier for some reason. The reason is your neck muscles are not engaging. You can also, if you don't want to incorporate movement, you can also just take your fingers, hold your neck muscles down. So your neck muscles go from behind your ear to the front of your collarbone. They run down diagonally in your neck. So you find that muscle, okay? And then somewhere in the middle of your neck, just start like holding them down as you sing. Because baby, there's ain't no mountain high enough. That also works. I personally prefer movement because I don't want my shoulders to get all tight and tense by like moving my fingers up here. But whichever way, whichever option works best for you is totally fine with me. Careful with neck tension too, that you're not like starting to reach forward, kind of like this, forward, or reach up, okay? For certain notes, that's not helpful. That's all neck tension. Don't do any of that. It really is not going to help you get those notes, even if they're high notes. It's not helping. So be sure that you're not reaching for anything and just keep shaking your head side to side as you're singing. That's usually the best thing you can do to release neck tension. So those are the 3 most common areas where singers hold tension: the jaw, the tongue, and the neck. Let me know in the comments which area you feel like you are holding the most tension in, and is it surprising to you? Because like I said, a lot of people think it's neck tension when it's actually tongue tension. So let me know in the comments where you felt the most tension, or where you think you have the most tension, and if that was at all surprising to you or not. And keep practicing these little tools that I just gave you to start releasing this tension. It's going to help you unlock your voice from your throat, getting it unstuck, sing more sustainably, or expand your range, start creating seamless and smooth transitions between your chest voice and your head voice. Unlock your vibrato. Riffing will get a lot easier. Pretty much all the things that you want to do in your singing will start happening when you are releasing tension. Even pitch accuracy. Sometimes what I see with singers who are struggling with matching pitch, like singing the right notes, they're getting off pitch a little bit, they're getting a little pitchy, then that is sometimes because of tension. They just, the tension is not letting their vocal folds stretch enough. So they're constantly going slightly under the note, slightly flat. And so they're getting a little pitchy. So releasing tension can even help with pitch accuracy. Let's quickly have a look at an example so that you can see how this translates into your song work. Lena is a professional singer from Scandinavia, and she came to me because she felt like what she was doing was no longer sustainable. She's done a lot of cruises and musicals and just performances all around Europe. And she's like, I'm kind of starting to get tired. I'm starting to lose my voice, and I want to have a long career. And I'm like, I want that for you as well. You're only in your early 30s. I want you to have a career for 30 more years or even more. So we worked on some releasing tension, because as soon as she started singing, I was like, oh girl, you're working too hard to reach some of these notes. So let's make this a whole lot easier for you. So let's have a look at what we worked on together.
These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough. Never be enough.
It was great till we got the right, and then it got to that big place right there.
Just like overdoing it all the time, because I always feel like I have to go on like top gear to like get somewhere.
I want to do it on a pufferfish. Take your hands right here. I want to hold down your neck muscles. They're engaging.
Never be enough.
Okay.
Whoa! That was easy. Wait, that was awesome.
Yes, it was. That was incredible.
Feeling that I'm doing too little. I feel like you're not even like singing, you're not even like trying. And I guess that's the right place. But it feels that I'm not like trying hard enough to get paid for it.
Oh, did you hear how beautiful and open and resonant Lena sounded here after she released that neck tension? But not only did it sound so much more full and open, but Lena said that it also felt a lot easier to sing that way. It's a win-win situation. Releasing tension is something that I work on with about 95% of singers in their first lesson with me. Yes, it is that common. But even though it is so super common, because every single singer and every single voice is different, where exactly you hold the tension and how exactly you hold the tension and how to release it is going to look a little bit different for everybody. So if you'd like to get a shortcut and know exactly where you have the tension and what is going to work for you to release that tension so that you can expand your range, belt more effortlessly, find that mixed voice to eliminate cracking, sing sustainably and not blow out your voice, find your vibrato, riff more effortlessly, and all of the above, then I'd love to invite you to book a one-on-one session with me. That way we can workshop a song together. I can hear exactly what's going on in your voice and create a personalized plan specifically for you so that you can start releasing tension quickly and let your voice just start flying out of your mouth rather than needing to push it out. If you're interested in doing this one-on-one session, just click the link in the description below, book a day and a time that works for you, and I'll send you the Zoom link. But we are just getting started here with our little mini series. Now that you know how to get a more effortless foundation in your singing, you're ready to move on to step number 2, breathing. I'll see you there.